Hey friends, it is Amanda with Mettle Modern Design coming to you live tonight on behalf of our friends at Essential Stencil. Okay, so let me show you a couple of different surfaces. I got both this finished surface and this unfinished surface at Michael's. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down to pretty close to the image here because I'm gonna use this as a guide for where our line should be. And hopefully I've cut that straight-ish. And so I'm going to kind of put it down, and what I want to position is I want to see where I can get the 1776 and the 2026 in the frame because, well, those are important when you're talking about a 250th anniversary. So right there is about as low as I can go. I could even edge it up just slightly to get it in. Right there. That's where I need to be. And here's where the top of our floral is. So if I'm going to do a two-tone piece here, and I want to do this straight and make sure this is straight, then I want to make sure I'm no lower on my two-tone than right here. So let's see where we are about right there. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our tape and we'll create a tape line. We'll tape this first and I guess go ahead and do the bottom, and that way we will know. I edge it down just slightly. Yep, we should be good. We should be good right there. So we're going to do this two-tone. I'm going to do blue and I'm going to do white. So we're going to grab out our Minwax water-based tintable stain, and I'm using my white stain. Actually, there's probably enough right here on this lid. Just going to tap in here, lift some stain, and we're just going to stain the base white. What do we think? Is that white enough? We could do one more coat. Let's, we'll dry it up a little bit and then we'll do one more coat. Then it'll be ultra white. Should be good. We're gonna dry this up pretty good. Tape off. Now we're gonna put our tape on the other side here. Smooth it out really well. In and grab a little navy, and we're gonna stain this down. Okay, let's pull off the tape. Now I'm just going to grab out a fine sanding sponge here. Pretty dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab out our transfer and position this up. We want to make sure we can get all of it in. It's kind of a large transfer. Okay. And there we go. That is so pretty. I'm just going to grab my sander. I'm going to sand right over the transfer. So my thought with the blue was to use the star stencil that just came out and add some stars. And the star stencil, tape our line with the stencil. I'm just going to pull out some white acrylic paint. Okay. And then we're going to come in and we're just going to stencil down the stars. Just kind of, okay. We'll hinge this back. And then we've just got some stars with our 250. Now let's heat that up. We're gonna sand the whole thing a bit. Sometimes I like to take my little bit of white that's still on my stain and just drag it in a little bit. Just drag it in just a little. Do you see kind of how it looks there? So we're just kind of dragging it into the edging here. Just a little bit more here. And this whole project was the acrylic white I used for the stars. Everything else we used was stain. We used Minwax water-based tintable stain in pure white and in navy blue. We used a beautiful transfer from Essential Stencil, and when we used the the star stencil from Essential Stencil. So transfer, stencil, and then 2 stain colors and 1 paint color. So it makes it a very affordable design to create because we didn't spend all this time with all these different paint colors and tons of time to create this. And I've got just a few more minutes. We're gonna do one more quick project and we'll let Essential Stencil choose the winners. Now this one is gonna be really simple, very simple. So these are also from Michael's. These are just called pine wood plaques. It is a 7.8 by 7.8 by 1. So It's about an 8 by 8, roughly. I'm going to use a transfer on it, and sometimes these white backgrounds are kind of harsh with getting adhesion. And so I'm just going to take my fine sander here. I'm just going to rough up that background just a little bit. Not enough to mess it up, but enough to maybe create some cross hatching. I'm going to sand it both directions. I just want it not so perfect so the transfer can adhere. Okay. I want to see if I can strategically cut around this where I can use this twice, where this set will make 2 designs instead of just one. One little tip right there. Okay, so we were able to cut around it. So I can make this fit, and then if I can fit any of that, I will. Otherwise, I will save that for another piece. So we will be able to make this fit, and if nothing else, I will put semi-quincentennial on there if I can't make that whole thing fit. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. I'm just going to lay this down, and again, I'm going to smooth it with my hand. And then you should be good to go. And that lays down so nicely right there. But it does have a big open spot where we pulled this out. And I don't think we can fit the whole thing. So what we're going to start with is we're going to take give me just 1 second. We're going to see if we can make it work. I put that there. I can't make it all work. So we're gonna separate semi-quincentennial. Can I do that? It's very near that line. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got the scroll on the 250th anniversary, and I've got semi-quincentennial on a different line. So I could add that in, or I could see if I don't have that now, if this will fit. So let me trim it up so we can see. I can layer it and it would fit. It might go right over her crown. We'll try it. We'll see. Worst that could happen is we don't like it. Then you won't do it, and at least you won't ruin your transfer. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, I know it might be a little hard to see. I'm just positioning this up. I want the star in. Oh, it's gonna fit. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, so let me show you how I positioned it. There's just a slight layering there, and you can completely do that. So now I've still got the semi-quincentennial phrase that I can add to something else later. So we're just going to burnish this on. Okay, so let me show you what happened, and then I'm going to lightly sand it again. So it looks really pretty, right? From first glance, I made it fit. It works out. So here we go. 2 Patriotic pieces, our cutting board, and our Statue of Liberty plaque. You guys, look, I hope you have a really blessed evening, a great week, and a happy start to your summer. I'll see you guys again real soon. Bye now, friends.